Today. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about where this project came from. I am Kelly Anderson. I'm the Executive Director of the Force Society for Kids Mental Health, and we are a provincial organization, and we're a partner agency of the BC Partners for Mental Health and Addiction Services. And that the funding for our participation in the BC Partners and for this project comes from BC Mental Health and Addiction Services and the Ministry of Children and Family Development. So we really want to thank them for a bit of a shift that we made in the idea about youth engagement project, and we decided to make it about transition to parenthood. We figure it's a transition that isn't talked about a lot. Lots of other transitions are, but this is one that seemed especially important and especially relevant to young people who have had mental health challenges. So we are going to, you're going to meet the youth that are part of this project, and I can't say enough about how amazing they have been. And the videos that you're about to see were produced by by our amazing youth. And we were going to try and stream it through the webinar, and we know that in the past many people have experienced challenges with bandwidth and being able to stream video really well. So what we did is we've uploaded the video to YouTube, and we're going to send everybody the link right now. So that link has gone to everybody that registered for today's GoToMeeting, and we're going to ask everybody if they could watch that video. It's about 12 to 15 minutes long, and then we are going to have everyone join us back after watching the video, and you'll get to meet the team of young people who put the video together and to hear about how you can become involved in this, because there's a call to action and it's very much community focused, and we are hoping that you'll see yourself in it after you see the videos. So my name is Kelly Anderson, and I'm first and foremost a parent of two young people, 22 and 24. And so I'm a generation of parent today.
Hi, my name is Aidan, and I came to the T2P team for two reasons. I both want to be a parent, and I have a mental illness. Hearing Kelly talk about being a mom and then relating to my own life, a background of being abused as a child by my parents. A question that I have been asked, quite accusation-based, was if I would ever think of harming a child or looking at a child inappropriately. And I think that really sums up our system right now.
I was introduced to the project through Kelly and the Force. I am a youth in residence for the Force, most recently at the beginning of the summer. I am still very young, and this project is important to me because of my own mental health challenges with a mood disorder and anxiety.
My name is Nisha, and I heard about T2P through Kelly. I'm on the BC Provincial Family Council, and when she mentioned this project, I was very interested, as I'm planning to be a parent one day, so of course it affects me and affects a lot of people around me.
I got involved, it's quite personal to me, just being diagnosed with schizophrenia about 5 years ago. And at that time, just never believing I could be a parent after being diagnosed, and just thinking I would never have a career, never be able to have a girlfriend or wife or family. And then through a lot of support and a strong recovery, I now believe that more than ever that I can and plan to be a parent. And so when Kelly told me about the project, I was immediately interested, just because it's so personal to me. It's so relevant to not just myself, but people I know that are experiencing mental health challenges, but also in the planning stages of becoming parents. And that's more possible now than ever, I think, for people struggling with mental health challenges. So,
having been diagnosed with ADHD and having gone through social anxiety, I've also considered those things, and recently I got married, so those ideas and those thoughts have come into my mind as well about parenting and becoming a father in the future.
I'm Heather.
I'm Joe.
And we are in the transition to becoming parents. Being involved in this project feels really good and hopeful and exciting and new. It feels new because I feel like it's kind of expected that you'll become parents at some point, but it's not talked about that much. And
now, those questions are coming up for me now that I'm pregnant, and I'm starting to have those thoughts. But before I got pregnant, there wasn't really those conversations. It was just like, yeah, let's start a family, let's have children. This is gonna be great. Let's make it happen. And yeah, I think that they're really important conversations to have. And I think that it'll be really rich and interesting to see what people say across generations about what's important about being a parent.
So with help from old and new friends, I turned the side of this abandoned house into a giant chalkboard and stenciled it with a fill-in-the-blank sentence, "Before I die, I want to." So anyone walking by can pick up a piece of chalk, reflect on their lives, and share their personal aspirations in public space. I didn't know what to expect from this experiment, but by the next day, the wall was entirely filled out, and it kept growing. And I'd like to share a few things that people wrote on this wall. "Before I die, I want to be tried for piracy." "Before I die, I want to straddle the international date line." "Before I die, I want to sing for millions." "Before I die, I want to plant a tree." "Before I die, I want to live off the grid." "Before I die, I want to hold her one more time." "Before I die, I want to be someone's cavalry." "Before I die, I want to be completely myself." So this neglected space became a constructive one, and people's hopes and dreams made me laugh out loud, tear up, and they consoled me during my own tough times. It's about knowing you're not alone. It's about understanding our neighbors in new and enlightening ways. It's about making space for reflection and contemplation and remembering what really matters most to us as we grow and change.
So back in September, our first Transition to Parenthood meeting, I brought forward that TED Talk with Candy Chang around the chalkboards. And essentially it was a way to look at engagement and community events in a bit of a different way.
What she did was building, like getting everybody to talk around abandoned buildings.
T2P is going to start a conversation first with people who have gone through a mental illness who want to be parents, and we actually want to invite people who don't have mental illness who also want to be a parent, young people who want to be parents, into a conversation of, well, what do they want as a parent?
And that's the thing, it's just so inclusive. It's something that a 5-year-old could do, a 45-year-old could do, and everybody in between, guys and girls, people without mental illness.
And I love how you brought that TED Talk in order to just kind of get us in the mood and inspire us, and it ended up giving us the idea for the rest of the project, which I thought was really cool.
I remember being so surprised because my intention to bring it was just having dialogue around different community events and how we could kind of be creative and a little bit outside of the box. And then it was like, bam, let's do the chalkboards. Let's do them in communities all over the province, and let's do our own catchphrase, our own kind of question around parenting and how amazing it could be to do it across generations and how open and inclusive it would be.
And we wanted the phrase to be, as a parent, I want to be able to do this, but I also want to have this, to leave it open so that people can ask for help or ask for the resources that they want, but as well as what they want to do as a parent, how they want to impact the future.
Sometimes people don't see that it affects their lives, but then mental health affects everyone's lives, but it's just you have to look at it from a different perspective. Everyone has a relative or a friend or even yourself. Like for us, it's our own personal experience and also through friends and family.
This project invites people who have mental illness, people who don't have mental illness, but people who have a common idea and a common goal. They want to be parents, just like I want to be a parent.
And we all come from somewhere. We all have a family, and even if that is a negative past or experience, then you can think about the positive future that you want to make. We all have something to draw off of as to what our family was, or what we want our family to be, or what our family currently is, and how we want to improve that. I think it applies to everybody.
When we were looking at our timeline of needing to complete the project and do a community event, the February 11th just kind of popped up as a great opportunity to get together and celebrate family, the families of the future, with this great event.
Yeah. And it's great how our past all influences us all, but the future is what we're looking to focus on and create with the project.
Exactly.
What does it look like? What do we want out of parenthood?
I think our hope is really that everybody will be involved. So as a parent, I want that will include people who are currently parents, who are wanting to be parents, are transitioning into parenthood, have small children, have, all different stages of life. And it'll be so intriguing to see, similar to Candy Chang's experiment, how people will interpret the question.
And until this project got introduced to me, I was really nervous about even talking about that out loud. And talking about passing it on to my children. What if that happens? Or what if it doesn't get passed on to my children?
Noticing that there was a gap in service, that there was this gap around youth transitioning into adulthood, but more than that, transitioning into parenthood.
There's literally no dialogue or conversation or resources for young men planning to be dads. So that's partly what drives me to be involved and to push that forward and try to make that a reality.
For me, the purpose of T2P is to bring awareness to a topic that isn't discussed. So can I necessarily give what a gap in service is right now? No. And it's because nobody asks me in an initial interview, do I want to be a parent?
It will help a lot of people to gain confidence that they can become parents, and maybe inspire resource providers to create resources for youth with mental health issues who want to become parents.
I think that there's conversations happening about starting a family, but I think that that's kind of where it ends. Like, I feel like I'm ready to start a family, period. I don't think that there's a lot more conversation about what does that mean, what does that look like, what does that look like for the woman, what does that look like for the man, what does that look like as a partnership, as a relationship, as a unit.
This project is important because mental health and parenting isn't a conversation that we currently have.
As a parent, I want the best for my child.
As a parent, I want access to support to be easy.
As a parent, I want to parent with intention.
As a parent, I want a plan so I'll have confidence that I can be a great parent.
As a parent, I want my kids to feel comfortable talking to me and texting.
As a parent, I want my child to be loved by many.
As a parent, I want for parenting to be valued.
As a parent, I want to break the cycle of abuse.
As a parent, I want to feel comfortable asking for help when I need it.
As a parent, I want my kids to have access to resources that I didn't have access to.
As a parent, I want to lean on those around me for support.
As a parent, I want to have support before I have a kid as a father.
As a parent, I want my children to be loved and not judged.
As a parent, I want the skills to do the job so my kids have the best chance.
As a parent, I don't want to control my child's life.
As a parent, I want affordable housing and open and caring schools.
As a parent, I want to play.
As a parent, I want the energy to be able to play soccer with my kids.
As a parent, I want to learn to skateboard with my kids.
As a parent, I want men to be included in the conversation.
As a parent, I want my partner to have resources as a dad.
As a parent, I want to offer my child options, not to make decisions for them.
As a parent, I want a gold medal. Because seriously, what parent doesn't deserve a gold medal?
As a parent, I want to not be afraid to talk about mental health and my own mental health.
So this Family Day, February 11th, join us in hosting a board in your community. You can do that in whatever way looks best for you in terms of putting it in a community center, an abandoned building, however you want to host it, that would be great.
And we actually want to invite people who don't have mental illness, who also want to be a parent, young people who want to be parents, into a conversation of, well, what do they want as a parent?
Every parent deserves to envision a world in which they can have resources and information about what they want as a parent. Are you a professional? Do you talk to your clients about what they want as parents? Are you a youth or a youth in transition? Do you know what you want as a parent? Let's all start discussing this question.
Yeah, our hope is that communities across BC will host these boards in their communities in whatever way you see fit, at community centers, in an abandoned building, however you can incorporate this into your community. We'd love to see what comes of it.
So if you contact us, we can send you toolkits. We have set this all up, so all you have to do is want to start the dialogue within your communities and within your networks.
So I'm Megan Marr. I'm the youth coordinator for this project. And I also wanted to introduce Heather, who is also on the webinar online over on the island. Heather, if you want to give a little wave. Little wave. Yeah. That's Heather.
I'm Sarah. I am the Forest Youth in Residence at the Kelty Mental Health Resource Centre.
I'm Brent Seal. I'm also a Forest Youth in Residence at the Kelty Centre.
My name's Nisha and I'm a member of the BC Provincial Council.
And my name is Aiden and I'm an advocate for mental health.
So before we go into question and answer, I just wanted to explain a little bit further about the toolkit. I have the toolkit right here. So after you decide that you want to be part of this important project, we will send a toolkit out to you. We ask you to please email Megan at forestsociety.com with your email address, the community that you are going to be hosting a board in, and your address, and then we will send you the toolkit. This is what the toolkit is going to look like. This is a list of frequently asked questions. We're also going to include a stencil of the phrase, "as a parent, I want," and then you can decide if you want to have it on a whiteboard or a chalkboard or on a wall or on a big piece of paper. It's however you can see it fit into your community. Then you can provide the materials on top of the stencil that we will send you in the mail.
And then our hope is just to get some photos and videos of the walls that you put up in your community, because our report back to our funders is going to be basically like a documentary and a video of all of the communities across BC that are participating in this, and so we're hoping to kind of get the data collection from everybody. So the only kind of ask back that we're hoping for is some video or photos of the walls that you're putting up.
And all of these videos and photos are going to go on a Facebook page. There's more information about all of that Facebook page and everything on the frequently asked questions that will come with the toolkit, but that's where the base for the project is going to be, and where we're going to archive all of the photos that you send us.
And so we can now open up the webinar to questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in and we will start answering them that way.
For promoting the event and getting people involved with your community, we're going to set up a Facebook page. You can become an admin of that page and create an event of your own in your own community through that page and invite your own community members and networks and groups, whether that's youth or parents or families or a school or a community center, whatever you work within, whatever your networks are, just you can invite those people and host your own community board and promote through that Facebook page, and it's just a centralized way to see where all the events will be taking place across BC through that page. And all that information will be in the toolkit, and then if you have further questions in addition to that, just email us and we'll take care of that. But yeah, we'll just make it easy for you to promote through through the Facebook. We'll have scripts and description of exactly how to set that all up, so just to make it easy for you all to do that.
And we'll be tweeting?
Yeah,
Brent?
we'll be tweeting. We'll be creating a hashtag. We're not sure exactly what the hashtag will be yet, but that'll all be in the toolkit as well.
So the question is, what should the question be put on, and what materials are included in the toolkit?
The materials that are included in the toolkit will be the frequently asked questions, and then the stencil of the phrase, "as a parent I want." And then it is what the question should be put on is whatever you see fit within your community. So if you decide that the board is going to be in a school, then it can be on a whiteboard or a chalkboard. You can even get large pieces of white paper and spray paint them and then put the phrase on the top of that. In a community center, on an abandoned wall. Our inspiration was from the Candy Chang TED Talk, and she did it on abandoned walls. So if that happens to be in your community, you can do it on that. It's whatever material you can find in your community that you can put the board up on and then take the board down.
So when I first became part of the project, I was not pregnant, and it was a very important project to me. I thought that it was a gap in services that we could see. It wasn't a conversation that was happening. And then when I found out I was pregnant, I felt like it was so timely, because a lot of the things that we were discussing were things that hadn't really come up for me yet. And they were questions that then I could start asking myself and starting to have dialogue around. So it just really brought to the forefront how important this project is and how important it is to have these conversations, particularly with youth, so that they can make conscious decisions and efforts and start thinking about parenthood as a phase potentially in their life. It's just, I think that we don't have a lot of those pre-conversations.
And Aidan, do you want to talk a little bit about just the whole piece around, I think both you and Brent mentioned in the video about a dad's perspective and where kind of our males in the conversation around mental health and parenthood and fatherhood. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
For sure. So hi, my name is Aidan, for any of you that haven't met me. It was really funny actually how the men of this project got brought into this team, because when it first started, well, there wasn't any men really involved.
There was one.
There was one, there was Brent.
Yeah.
And so Brent was commissioned to go and get more men, and as soon as I heard about the project, sold. As somebody, as I explained in the video, as somebody who has mental illness and somebody who's really been looked down upon in meetings with care professionals, because I have a history of abuse, and of course there's two directions that people who've been abused sometimes can go, either becoming a perpetrator or breaking the cycle. And I've chosen to break the cycle, and which is why I'm glad to be on this team, to extend that message and expend that men are interested in this topic. And I think we really need to focus on giving even support to both men and women, which Megan talks on in the video, which was very important. And also in the video how we talk about the fact that it's not information and not resources that need to come after pregnancy. It's actually a conversation we need to start before pregnancy, before people maybe are even in a relationship, before they're going through the phases of trying to be parents. We need information ahead of time, and that transition to parenthood really focuses on that really early literacy around parenting and around initially coping from a mental illness perspective, but as we say, inviting people who don't have mental illness as well, because this is a universal topic among ages and among genders.
Great. So this project is we're in phase one. This really is a conversation starter. Oh, they can look at you guys. It's a conversation starter, really, and we really see this as something that we're hoping that we can build. Not just hoping, we plan to build on this. And I think that you have a really amazing group of young people here, and I think there's a lot of other amazing young people that I think would appreciate this kind of dialogue. And we're hoping to kind of start that and mobilize and really talking about the transition that nobody's talking about. And very excited, and we really hope that those of you watching and as you share this afterwards, because this will be recorded, so you'll be able to go back in, watch the webinar, plus watch the videos again and share them with people that you know. And we're hoping to really have a lot of people come out around Family Day and help us develop the next stages of this project and engage as many of the next generation of parents and families in this province, and imagining it really kind of going viral across the country, hopefully, through social media. The date is, again, we picked February 11th to do the sharing of this dialogue in the boards and communities, because February 11th is Family Day in British Columbia, the first Family Day that's ever been. And so we think, what better way to talk about families than the future generation of families, and create the future that youth want. Start thinking about it now. And so we invite you to please email us if you're interested, and you'll be sent the toolkit, and you will, it's not going to cost you anything to get the toolkit from us, and we're hoping that the value you get is priceless from this. So I don't see any more questions, but if people do think of questions afterwards, you've got our email. More than happy to answer the emails, and like I said, this will be up on the Force website, so we will send that link out to all of you who signed up so that you'll be able to access it. And I just want to thank the amazing youth in this project, and a special call out to Sandy, our amazing videographer. That's her and Aiden have been amazing in pulling this video together, and it's been really special. So thank you. Thanks everybody. Thanks for joining us.